Whoa! Today I wanted to touch on air guns for prepping, survival, and why you might consider one. Well, there's all different sizes of air guns. You could buy ones that can take down deer and buffalo and things like that. Of course, you're talking, thousands of dollars for those big ones. You'll have to research those on your own because, for one, I don't have the money to afford one of those, and it's really not something I need. But I wanted to show you some of the ones I do have and what they might be good for. Okay, this one here is an old classic. If you've been around air guns or BB guns, pellet guns for any length of time, you probably recognize this one. This is a pump gun, and it's a pretty nice one. You can pump it up. You could use this for small birds, rabbit, raccoon, things like that probably, okay? I wouldn't use it for self-defense. For one, it's slow. For two, you only got one shot. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a couple of the different ones I've got. Try them out. I've got a target down there. And then I got a couple of nice ones I want to show you. Let me just shoot this off to release the air here. One good thing, wow, I wish I had the other camera going. That came out pretty good. Anyway, that's one of them. That one's a pump gun. This one here is CO2. And this one's mainly just for fun. You really can't do a whole lot with this one. But when you go to consider, I'm kind of in the shade here. I hope I'm showing up okay here. One thing to consider when you're thinking about getting one is what is the purpose of it. Okay, ones like these would be good for, let me turn my arm around. These would be good for plinking, like I said, rabbit, small birds, small things like that, or even pest control. Okay, but these would also be good for training. If you have little ones and you want to get them used to firearms, kind of train them on the handling of them and things like that, you might want to go with something like this for, the beginners. Then, I've got a couple more down there. Then you want to consider, do you want a BB gun or a pellet gun? And you can get them in boxes like this or little small boxes. Believe it or not, I found it's cheaper right now. I'll flash the thing on the screen. Hold on, I'll flash it up there and you can take a look. Do the math and you can figure out how much per cartridge. And they're all the same size, the 12 gram. Now you can get ones that are a little bigger and a little smaller. But you got to be careful because some of them aren't for your BB and pellet guns. Some are for tire inflators. Like I have some for my bicycle that screw on. They have threads. Those will not work in these guns. Okay, so be careful when you're buying your CO2 cartridges. Now if you go in and get Crossman, they're pretty much the same ones, okay? Like I said, we got a target down there. We're going to be shooting these. I got a real fun one to show you here in a minute. But consider when you're thinking about picking up an air gun, whether a pistol or a rifle, you want to make sure you get what you need. Okay. I suggest you having both kind. Having a pump one like this or a pump rifle. I had a really nice pump rifle that had interchangeable barrels. You could look those up on Amazon. That's where I got it. It had a .177 barrel, and it also had a .22 barrel. I gave that to my grandson because I started finding it a little hard for me to pump or break it open. It was a what they call a break barrel. All right, well, like I said, the expenses is a lot different too in firing it. On something like this, you just have to have the pellets. On one like this, you have to have the CO2 and BBs. We'll get into that. We'll show you how those CO2 goes into that. Let me get the other camera set up. We'll go ahead and take a couple of shots out of this one with the camera going on the target, and then we'll get back to talking about this. All right, well, half of the target down there, oops, I forgot to hit record on it. Okay, part of the target down there is in the shade. It's might be hard to see, but I'll try highlighting it and show you where the shots end. Now these, I believe they say you could pump it up to 10 times. I usually don't. If I was trying for food, I probably would. But let's go ahead and put one on target down there. Safety off. I can't really see where it hit, but we'll take a look in a little bit. See, with pellet and BB guns also, you may not want people to hear where you're at. You know, depending on the circumstances. Okay, let's walk down there and take a look. Okay, that was the first one that I did. And then these are the other two. I'm not sure which was which, but you can see those are pretty close. If you had a squirrel there or a rabbit, you would have hit them. All right, now let's go ahead and put a CO2 in this one, and I'll show you how that's done. You load your BBs in here, you push this little thing down here, and then there's a little spot to put the BBs in, and I can't remember how many it holds. Then you put your CO2. Never put oil, never put oil in a pump BB or pellet gun. But in a CO2 one, you want to put a little drop of oil on top of the cartridge there. That way it'll lubricate the seal. And you don't need much, just a little tiny drop right up on the top of it there. Put that up in there. And you can usually hear when it punctures the cartridge, and then you want to turn it fast to seal it. You hear it leaking? Okay, you give it a little bit more of a turn, and it seals it. Now let's see how this one does. Helps if you take the safety off. All right, let's go see how that one did. Put the lid on the pellets so we don't end up on the floor or on the ground all over the place. All right, got there, 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 and there. All right, well, you see how that one did. Now, We're going to move up a little tiny bit for this next one. I think you're going to like it. All right, well this is for playing, really. It has a reservoir up here that'll hold, I believe it's 300 BBs, and then you got a spring load magazine down here. You got to rock them from the top down to there. And, well, let's see how accurate this thing is. Oh, and this takes 2 CO2 cartridges. Now let me show you the fun part behind this. Oh. It helps if I turn the switch the right way. Okay. Like I said, this one's mainly for fun. Or if somebody's breaking in your house, you know what? You may not hurt the person, but I bet those BBs will sting. Let me see if I can get some more down in there and we'll do a full load out. All right. That's fun. Okay. Let me move the camera back to the table back here, and I'll show you the last one we have. All right. Well, this is the last one I have to show you. This one is a bolt action, and it takes little 9 round. Show you what that looks like. You stick around in each one of those holes, and then when you put them in there, there's a little thing in there that keeps it from turning back. So every time you fire one, it turns and you're ready for the next one. Now I got one loaded up here already. We'll slide that in. Okay. Now, this one also takes 2 CO2s. There's a tube under here, or you can get, larger CO2 containers that'll fit in there. What is it, 88 and 90 gram. Or this tube here. Sorry if I cut part of my head off here. Or this tube here, which holds 2 CO2s. And I don't think these ones have been punctured yet. I'll have to check. This one looks like it might have been. Anyway, you put one nose down, one nose up. Then you screw this on here. Now there's another wing nut. You want to make sure that one's screwed out when you're screwing this cap back on. Okay. Okay, and then take this. If you notice, the front of this gun has a weird looking pyramid or triangle shape thing on it here. That's to help silence it. Like I said, sometimes you don't want to be heard. All right, this is all ready to go. It's on fire. Let me lower this down. Put the magazine back in and give this another try. There we go. Okay, I'll be shooting at the one on the bottom on the right. I've never really sighted this scope in real good. I've gotten it close, but never did finish sighting it in. I've got a bore laser, or a bore sighter, but it won't work in this with that sound muffle. They call it a suppressor, I think. But I think it's shooting just a little bit high. Yeah, I can see right where it's hitting. But it's a good group, a really good group. I'll aim just a little bit lower. I'll aim at the bottom of the diamond. We'll take one more shot. And okay. Well, I hope you liked this video. Please, if you got anything out of it, go down, hit that subscribe button, click that little bell icon. That way, that way you'll be notified next time we upload a video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up.